Hello, I'm Adam and welcome to my garage. In today's episode we're going to be putting my cylinder heads back on my engine, timing it up and hopefully getting it back in the bike. Let's crack on. Well, I've managed to get the cylinder heads back on now. It was a bit awkward, but I finally got there. Now I've torqued these bolts up to 40 Newton meters and I've made sure that that pipe goes from one cylinder to the other, and then just bolted that up. Now I just need to put an O-ring in this top water pipe and bolt that on, and then I can go into timing the heads up. Now that I've put the cylinder heads on, I've timed the rear cylinder to top dead centre, making sure that the piston is at the top. Made sure everything's clean. I've put some assembler lube on the bearing faces, and I've put the cam on with the pin facing at 1 o'clock. And you've got some arrows, you've got some lines that point to the front of the engine. Now I'm going to install the sprocket, which just locates on the pin. Now I've installed the sprocket on the cam with the chain. I can bolt it all up. With this lock washer, you've got to make sure that you actually cover the pin. So put some red thread lock on. I want to tighten it fully until you've got the other bolt in. Now I'm just going to rotate it until I can access the other bolt. I've just got to make sure that the cam chain on the front is tight and doesn't cause any problems. And these want to be torqued to 50 Newton meters. Now to the front cylinder, which it's timed up to, everything is timed up to the rear cylinder, so the rear cylinder needs to be top dead centre again on the compression stroke. Then you need to put your cam in, but your pin faces to 10 o'clock this time instead of 1 o'clock. I'll put some assembly lube on. And the sprocket needs to locate on the pin. Keeping it around 10 o'clock, and there's an arrow pointing to the front of the engine which should go over the face of the head. Now same again with this, put the lock washers on, putting some thread lock on. Now that the cams and sprockets are on, I've turned the engine a few times to make sure everything lines up, which it does. So now I need to take the cable ties out, which you've got to be really careful with, so no plastic pulls into the engine. I need to do these tabs as well. Need to tighten these tabs, locking tabs. And then the rocker cover can go back on. I've cleaned the rocker cover up now. I've put the gasket seal around the edge, and I've put some assembly lube on the bearing faces. Let's get it on. Now that the rocker covers are on, I've checked my valve clearances, so to do that I put the rear cylinder to top dead centre first, and the valve clearances are between 0.08 to 0.13, and that's on both intake and exhaust. And then to do the front one, you put the front one to top dead centre and do the same on that side. Now I can finish putting the chrome covers on, and it's ready to go back in the bike. Well, I'm going to end this episode here. I've installed the engine now, which were a bit of a nightmare. I got a friend again to help me, but I could have done with an extra person. The next thing to do is reinstall, connect the drive shaft. So I've got the knuckle here. The small end of the knuckle goes towards the drive shaft. So as long as you know that, it's pretty straightforward. In the next episode, I'm going to be doing my first startup on the bike, and then synchronising my carburetors. Hopefully it runs. If you wish to see any previous content, please check my page. If you want to see any future content, please like and subscribe to my channel, would be much appreciated. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.